Hey everyone, it's been a while. It's me, the champ, Gooby. Special preview of Show Us Your TDs Season 2. It's mid off season and week 1 till the NFL or one more week until the NFL draft. We're here to talk trades, retirements, and other things that will affect next year's NFL fantasy lineups and the NFL in general. We're also going to do a little mock draft for the upcoming NFL draft. I'm here with third place finisher in last year's fantasy football league, Melky. How you doing over there?
I'm stoked. And I'm stoked only the way the Melk-Man can be stoked. I love talking football with you. Obviously, you're my partner in crime. And when you said you wanted to do a mock draft episode, I jumped on it faster than, just anything.
Yeah, man.
Faster than speed of bullet, whatever.
Yeah.
But, Gooby, I got a question for you. Who wanted to kick that field goal?
That's a great question. Should be correct, but unfortunately for today's game, that is incorrect, and you're going to lose 0. Thanks for that.
What did you think of him on a sidebar? Like, what did you think of him on Jeopardy?
Aaron Rodgers on Jeopardy. I watched a little bit of it, like the highlights, I guess. It was all right. He did pretty well. Not his strong suit, I don't think. But that question, the answer question from that guy was hilarious. It had myself in tears.
It stole the show. He was okay. I think he was a little stiff. He seemed nervous. I could definitely, though, see him doing that after his career in the NFL. Or if he wants to, piss off Green Bay and hold out, he can just do that and earn $12 million for 46 days.
I'm pretty sure he'll become a broadcaster like Tony Romo and be like the highest paid broadcaster ever.
Ain't nobody like Tony Romo.
Ain't nobody like Tony Romo. That is right.
But speaking of chaotic news, let's dive into the NFL offseason.
All right.
Honestly, it's a chaotic hurricane that you always want to follow. And no, I'm not talking about Gooby's fart gust wind after he eats chili. It's the NFL offseason, and the activity is endless. So let's take it through it, and let's talk retirements. Now, there's been 4 major retirements since the start of offseason. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Julian Edelman, and Alex Smith. Now, Gooby, obviously these 4 are decorated, with the amount of games they played. Brees, Rivers, and Alex Smith with touchdowns, yards, completion. Edelman, 3 Super Bowl rings as Super Bowl MVP. Now, I know at least 2 of these guys are going to the Hall of Fame, but are all of them Hall of Fame worthy? What do you think?
Well, Alex Smith, I don't got much to say about him because, I think that injury kind of just screwed his career. But, I mean, you look at Phillip Rivers, okay, 17 years, 63,000 plus yards, 421 touchdowns, 209 interceptions, and a passer rating of 95.2. When from San Diego to Indy, I think he will be a not first ballot Hall of Famer, but he will make the Hall of Fame one day.
Yeah, I can't argue there. Those numbers are pretty impressive. I think Brees obviously is a lock, with a Super Bowl ring, a Super Bowl MVP, 13 Pro Bowls. He leads, he's got the record of 80,358 yards, 571 touchdowns, 20 seasons with San Diego and New Orleans. Yeah, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. No doubt. Julian Edelman, though, he's my wild card. Actually, I don't think Alex Smith's getting in. I think the injury derailed him, too. That was a great point. And I don't think he put enough, his numbers are good, but they're not great.
Yeah.
Now, the debate is Julian Edelman. There are folks that say he should get in, and there are folks that say he shouldn't get in. Did you know he never made a Pro Bowl team?
No, I actually did not know that.
Yes,
But
4 Pro Bowls to his name.
I can see that because Julian Edelman was never the star wide receiver for Tom Brady. It was Rob Gronkowski or some other wide receiver that just took that place. So Julian Edelman was always second or third, but he was a main factor in their team. But he was never gonna be a all-star wide receiver. He did 12 years, 630 receptions, 6,800 plus yards, 36 touchdowns. Stayed with the Pats and had 3 Super Bowls. So
and an MVP.
And an MVP.
Yep.
So I think again, kind of like Phillip Rivers, he will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he will be in the Hall of Fame one day.
Okay. I dig it.
Maybe they'll make a new thing for slot receivers as a Hall of Famer.
Well, I mean, he did catch that vital catch in the Super Bowl against Atlanta. No, that wasn't him.
Oh, no, that wasn't him.
He was the one where he caught it, it almost hit the ground, and then
through the legs. Yeah. Man, they had some fucking really big outcomes in that, eh?
That was a great Super Bowl. I remember everyone was pissed that New England won, but I wasn't.
Oh man, but yeah. So and then like I said, Alex Smith, it's a toss up. I don't think he'll make a Hall of Fame.
He was never worthy of the first overall pick. How did Aaron Rodgers end up way down in the draft? I mean, it was Green Bay's blessing, but how did Aaron Rodgers slip so far? And Alex Smith was number 1 when clearly Aaron Rodgers was the better talent.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's hard, and I liked Alex Smith too. So.
Nah, I never did. Fuck him.
But speaking of quarterbacks, Carson Wentz traded to the Colts for a 2021 third-round pick and a conditional 2022 second-round draft pick. What do you think?
Oh, the Colts obviously didn't waste time replacing Phillip Rivers. I think this is a great move if Wentz is able to play like he did during his close to MVP season before he tore his ACL. And he has the coach that's there was his quarterback coach in Philly. So all the stars are aligning for him to have a comeback season. And I think he needs to realize he can't do it by himself. That team is on the up and up. Great defense. They have stud wide receivers. They have a great running back. Everything is aligned for him to actually succeed. So play within your realm and don't try and do everything because you're not that good.
I kind of agree with you. It's going to be a good fit, but I personally think in the upcoming years, 2 or 3 years, they're going to be searching for a new quarterback to replace him. And I don't think he's good enough to make a Super Bowl. Again.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that. I don't think Indy, the problem is, okay, so their division is probably the second worst with Houston and Jacksonville. I mean, Tennessee is no joke, but I think it's going to be hard pressed with the AFC having KC, having KC, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
It's an up. Yeah, but good luck to him. At least he's not in the NFC. Well, he wasn't really much of a threat anyways in the NFC, at least. So whatever. Goodbye.
Remember that? God, who was Entourage based off of? Fuck. Mark Wahlberg. Remember that Mark Wahlberg movie, The Miracle or whatever, the Philadelphia? Yeah. That's what happened when they won the Super Bowl. Okay, it was a miracle.
Of course it was. It was a fluke.
So, Carson Wentz, don't press your luck. You're not good, and you're going to be replaced in 2 years.
You have it, folks. Gooby's crystal ball's out. He's predicting the future. Let's keep it moving with quarterbacks. And let's probably the trade of the offseason. I'm talking the LA Rams and the lonely Detroit Lions switching quarterbacks, where Stafford is going to La La Land. And in return, Jared Goff is going to Detroit along with first round, 2021 third round pick, a 2022 and 2023 first round pick. A huge haul for a team that doesn't have too many first round picks anyways in LA. But this is a slam dunk. This is a touchdown. It's good. I love this move for LA. It's Super Bowl or bust for them.
100% Super Bowl or bust. Now for that third round pick, and I don't know what this means. I Googled it. I still kind of understood it. Their 2021 third round pick is a compensatory third round pick. So I don't know if they truly get it. I think they do, but I think there's a workaround with something. I did some digging and I couldn't understand it. There was too much money and shit involved. But big ups to the Rams and Detroit for making this trade. Yeah, Detroit's gonna get the shit out of the stick, but I mean, for fantasy relativity, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and maybe even Deshaun Jackson
and D-Jax, yeah,
they're gonna be a high price wide receiver core.
The new kid on the block, yeah,
coming for that fantasy. And you know what? I had Robert Woods last year, and he did excellent. So I'm looking for a big day for or big season for Robert Woods.
Not only Robert Woods, Matthew Stafford. He has weapons. He hasn't had a weapon since Megatron, and now he's got a plethora of weapons. Plus, he's got Cam Akers in the backfield. It's like we both said, Super Bowl or bust. I mean, that division is competitive as it is, but I think with their defense, their window is very small. Sean McVay knows that, and he knew he wasn't going to win with Jared Goff. So he sent him packing to probably the worst place in the world at the moment in the U.S., but that's a him problem.
Do you trust Matthew Stafford with a high quarterback draft pick and a fantasy league?
I trust him. I'm not going to go with waste a fourth round pick on Matthew Stafford, because you can get other quarterbacks who can put up numbers as much as him. But if he's there in the sixth round, yeah, I'm probably jumping on him.
Late fifth, early sixth?
Yeah, I'm probably jumping on him.
I think I agree with you too. But another quarterback trade. We're going to go with Sam Darnold to the Panthers for a sixth round pick this year and a second and fourth round pick in 2022. I mean, this one, I didn't write much down for this because it's Sam Darnold and it's the Jets. The only thing that I can say is this might be a Wentz situation, like I said, where they're going to be looking in the draft this year, next year, at some point to get a quarterback who will replace Sam Darnold.
See, I disagree with you. I think Sam Darnold got the shit end of the stick. It wasn't his fault that the Jets are a dumpster fire swimming in a pool of piss. It's not his fault. He had nothing to work with. Adam Gase is the worst coach ever. I think he's worse than Matt Patricia. And like Sam Darnold was basically left to fend for himself. He's on a team with Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and Robbie Anderson. That's pretty scary. And not to mention, they're a young team. Darnold is only 23 years old. I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to shine. He's got a coach who knows what he's doing, an organization that knows what they're doing. Poor Teddy Tapwater or two-hand Tapwater. Sucks, but you need to learn how to throw the ball. If you're a quarterback, then this goes for Tim Tebow and all you other quarterbacks that don't know how to throw the ball. Why are you quarterbacks? Pick a different position. But that's a different conversation for a different day. This is another home run touchdown. OT winner, whatever sport you want to get into. I love it for Sam Darnold. He probably danced up. I saw the video of when he got home and there were Panther colors all over his house and he was doing like this little group.
Yeah.
He was a happy man and I don't blame him.
So do you think DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson stock go up?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to. DJ Moore's progress has been really good since he's been in the league. Robbie Anderson, the problem with him is he's a great deep ball threat, but he needs a quarterback that can throw the deep ball. Bridgewater can't do that. And remember, guess who Robbie Anderson worked with before he went to Carolina? Sam Darnold in New York. So there's familiarity there. Look for those two to have really good numbers. And plus, Christian McCaffrey's back.
That's another thing. I know it doesn't really matter in our league, but Christian McCaffrey numbers, do they go up?
Of course, he's the engine. He's the engine that drives that car or drives that train. Whatever analogy you want to use. He's the. If he isn't there, they're not a big of a threat. If he's on the field, because he can catch the ball too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like with the acquisition of Sam Darnold, do you think that McCaffrey's numbers will go up from, I guess, say 2 seasons ago?
I think he's probably teetering around the same, maybe a little lower because it's always hard to duplicate those numbers. But he's still a valuable commodity. And yes, I know you have him, you dirty bastard.
Just a sidebar. We never even talked about this. What are the chances that I win again this year?
I'm giving you 0.000001 because it's hard to repeat, and you might not get the number 1 pick. So you get to pick out of the hat first, but you could land 9, 8, 7 in the middle.
Okay, well,
good luck to you.
Well, speaking of winning, with the acquisitions of J.J. Watt, James Conner, and A.J. Green, you think the Cardinals are due for a Super Bowl now?
Fuck no. No, I mean, they're nice pickups, but these players were great once. J.J. Watt is getting older and coming off how many injuries. James Conner disappeared last year in a prolific offense in Pittsburgh. A.J. Green just didn't want to be in Cincinnati, which I don't blame him. Who really wants to be in Cincinnati? And you forgot Malcolm Butler. And that, I think Malcolm Butler, out of any of those picks acquisitions, were probably the best one because he can still cover. Everybody knows what he did in the Super Bowl for New England. I think this makes them good and makes them better and great veteran presence for Kyler Murray. But that division is so tough.
It's stacked division.
It's probably the hardest division in football. So I think this makes them competitive. For me, with the Cardinals, they go as far as Kyler Murray goes.
Okay. So I'm going to disagree with you. I think that with those players now in that team, I think James Conner's going to shake the rust off. I think it's going to help Kyler Murray, stay in the pocket a little bit more, or even do those, trick plays or whatever you want to call them, right? And just kind of keep the ball moving. I really, really think that James Conner can do very well in this team. I don't think James Conner really wanted to be where he was last year, and I think that's one of the reasons why he was playing like crap. A.J. Green, I think, has at least another 1 or 2 good years left in him. He was definitely getting shunned out by Tyler Boyd. And I think that they could make a run for that division. I don't see them surpassing the Seahawks, but I see them maybe making a run with LA. But again, now with LA with Stafford, you're like,
see, I think it's the numbers game. I think they're a year or 2 away. The problem with the acquisitions they made, all of these players have been hurt at one time. And not just once, it's been a few times. J.J. Watt's had so many surgeries. You can call him the Bionic Man now. AJ Green hasn't been healthy. I think this past year was his first somewhat healthy year. He hasn't been healthy in 3 years. James Conner's been hurt too. And I don't agree with him not being happy in Pittsburgh because that was a stout offense. I just think their O-line was so shit. They just didn't know how to use James Conner. And Big Ben was playing for his life because he knows tick tock, his time is running. His time is running up. So he tried to throw the ball. He forced the ball a lot more. So unfortunately, James Conner suffered for it. But they're not better than Seattle, and they're not better than LA.
Gooby's prediction right here. LA number 1, Arizona number 2, Seattle 3, and the Niners going 4th in that division.
Melky bets you $20 Arizona doesn't make the playoffs.
Gooby's broke because he's part-time now.
All right. Well, speaking of not being broke, let's talk the Tampa Bay Bucks. They brought the entire band back. Talk about using your money wisely. Godwin signs the franchise tag. Shaq Barrett gets a new deal. Leonard Fournette comes back. And Ndamukong Suh comes back. Rob Gronkowski is back in the fold, and he just set a record for tossing a football from a helicopter. I think it was the amount of feet or whatever. That was a strict video.
Yeah.
Levante David back. They re-signed their kicker, Ryan Suckup. These guys, the band is back. Gooby, are they the favorites to win it again?
No. I don't think so. I think after a year of people scouting them out and figuring out how they work, I don't think that they're going to be in it to win it this year. I can see KC outdoing them. I can see Buffalo outdoing them. And I can see... Now, I could be wrong.
You're usually wrong.
Not when it comes to the NFL fantasy world, because I'm a champ.
Yeah,
so I ain't wrong there.
Yeah, you got lucky. You'll be wrong this season. Don't worry.
I can see the LA Rams beating them in the semifinals. I could see Tampa, LA semis, and LA goes to the Super Bowl.
So the NFC Conference Finals.
LA
Bucks and Rams.
Yep.
That defense is too much for Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think LA and LA and I guess fuck it, LA and Tom Brady, because Tampa Bay ain't nothing without Tom Brady. But yeah, LA versus Tampa Bay. I think that's gonna be the conference, and I think that LA goes out on a high note there.
You know, I usually say outlandish stuff, but I actually might agree with you in that. But we'll see what happens after the draft and when all the teams are set. I do like that conference finals. And that's a great guesstimation on your part.
Oh, thank you very much. I try.
No, you don't.
I try. But with Fournette, I think Fournette is a great running back. I loved him, but the injuries, he was healthy last year. So I think that was a great signing. Like you said, they got defensive, they got their kicker, they just got it all back, and it just looks good. It looks good.
You think AB finally comes back in the fold, or is someone going to take a chance on him?
No, AB's done, man. He didn't put up any numbers. Well, he put up numbers, but he wasn't a wow factor. You need, for that caliber of a player, you need to be a wow factor to get back into the fold.
I think he goes on his hand and knees and begs Tom Brady to take him back.
Speaking of being on your hands and knees, Dak Prescott, he prayed and he prayed and he prayed and he prayed some more, and then he got his $240 million deal, including $126 million guaranteed, a record $66 million signing bonus with the last 2 years voidable. I just, in the short run of things, he has a bigger payday than Patrick Mahomes. For the first 4 years, he's making $29 million more than Patrick Mahomes is. This is a Patrick Mahomes contract with less years.
And he's also making $75 million this season.
I don't see it. I'm sorry. I'm a huge Cowboys fan, but I don't see it. I don't see it in Dak Prescott. He was putting up career numbers last year until the injury. He was putting up like probably one of his best ever. Probably because it was a contract year, but I don't see it in Dak Prescott.
You don't have to. It's the market. Jerry Jones waited too long to sign him, and it went with the market. And Dak Prescott held all the cards, and now Jerry has to pay him. So, well, I mean, we're lucky Jerry has so much money coming out of his ass. It's not even funny. But now we get to see Dak Prescott put up or shut up. You now are paid. There is no reason, bar injury again. There's no reason to be disgruntled. There's no reason, to pout. You are paid. You're the highest paid person in the NFL right now. You need to take this team to a conference finals, and very quickly. Otherwise, fuck off and let us start again.
I don't think they make the conference, but I think they make the quarters.
They go second round. Do they win a playoff round?
They win one.
Okay.
Wild card,
won that once.
Maybe.
Well, we got to win that division first because they're not getting a wild card spot. But let's talk about flashing the cash. You know what I'm talking about. The New England Patriots free agency splurge. Gooby. You know who they signed? They signed your best friend, Hunter Henry. They signed Jonnu Smith, both tight ends. Kendrick Bourne, nice slot wide receiver. Matthew Judon from Baltimore, who's a great linebacker. Nelson Aguilar, another wide receiver. Jalen Mills, a great corner. Re-signed Cam Newton for one more year. And then they re-signed a bunch of other people. Plus, they have the guys who held out coming back. Gooby, are the New England Patriots a threat?
Fuck no. It's no contest. Those players are good, but they're not the wow factor. And I mean, who's your quarterback right now still?
Cam Newton.
Yeah, my point exactly. Fucking Cam Newton. Cam Newton was a one-hit wonder. Kind of like fucking, I don't know. I can't even know any one-hit wonders. But I don't see it in them. I don't think Bill Belichick and Cam Newton can get on the same page. Cam Newton is not a Bill Belichick quarterback. It's plain and simple. He's a mobile quarterback. Bill Belichick doesn't like that. Have you seen Tom Brady run? It's terrible. Okay?
That's why he was a 6th round pick.
Yeah. That's why you're, 199 or 299 or something like that. But it's feasible that they'll do better than last year, but they're not the go-to team in that division at all.
Well, they were 7-9, but I actually think they can give Buffalo a run for their money. Cam Newton doesn't have to be fantastic. Cam Newton just has to be able to throw short passes to his 2 tight ends, your favorite position. He's got 2 good ones in Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. They're trying to relive the days of Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. It could work. Bourne is a speedy slot wide receiver. Aguilar had a great season. Now, I'm not saying these guys are going to, push them to the Super Bowl. No, there's no fucking way. But they can be competitive with the defensive players that sat out, the new defensive players, the offense. Bill Belichick, I disagree with you. Cam Newton is a Bill Belichick type of quarterback because he's not going to take chances. Bill Belichick doesn't take chances. So they have a great opportunity to be competitive.
First of all, don't you ever take the Lord's name in vain, saying that they'll give the Bills a
Your
run for
boy,
their money.
your boy isn't the Lord and Savior. That's Tom Brady.
The Lord and Savior is my boy. Okay? So there's no way. There's no way. I think the Bills run that division outright.
I bet you Patriots get a wild card spot.
I'll do $20 on that.
All right. There you have it.
There's no illegal gambling here. We promise we're not actually doing it.
These bets are piling up.
All right. You want to know what's piling up? Miami. Miami's piling up. Will Fuller signs a 1-year deal with Miami. Also trades with the Eagles. Back up the draft to 6 overall, along with a 2021 5th-round draft pick, while the Eagles get a 12th round overall pick and a 4th round pick and a 2022 1st-round pick. Miami, what's up?
Miami is smart as hell, man. First of all, Will Fuller is a nice signing and salvage. It gives Tua a weapon because God only knows Tua needs all the weapons in the world. But that trade you just mentioned, you got to back it up because that snowballed from an earlier trade with Miami and San Francisco. So San Francisco shot all the way to the 3rd pick, which was what Miami had, which was given to them by Houston. Thank you very much, stupid Texans. And they traded for the 12th pick, which was sent to Philly. They also got a 2021 3rd-round pick, a 2022 1st-round pick, and a 2023 1st-round pick. Miami is swimming in draft picks and capital, and they're doing things right, brother.
Oh, fuck. You could say more. Like, that is just unbelievable. It's astonishing. Whoever's in office in Miami needs to quit their job and run for office of the presidency.
No,
because
politics
they're doing things right.
I look for Miami to have big things to come. I don't have faith in Tua, but apparently they do. But yeah, Miami's doing it right, doing it well.
Even if so say you don't have faith in Tua. Say, I don't know, this year and next year he does shit. You got draft picks. Use them.
You got capital.
I just it's incredible. Like this like I said, Miami, pay your coaches, pay your GMs, pay your owners, because that's amazing. Amazing.
Not only that, Christmas bonuses should be big this year.
But Will Fuller's stock, I say, goes down this year. I don't think he's going to be the Will Fuller that everybody thinks he is, the touchdown king. Give him a year, maybe 2, and then maybe his stock will go back up.
Well, he only signed a 1-year deal. I don't anticipate him being there for the long haul because Miami's drafting a wide receiver, which we're going to get into later on with our mock draft. But Will Fuller is a nice stopgap to help Devontae Parker, Tua, and the rest of that cast.
Okay. Yeah. You know what, though? Another wide receiver. Ravens pick up free agent Sammy Watkins for a 3-year deal. Lamar Jackson, you got yourself a pretty good wide receiver. What do you think?
It's a 1-year deal, not a 3.
1-year deal? Okay, yeah. My bad.
And what do I think? This is a horrible signing. They couldn't get anyone else. They couldn't persuade Juju to leave Pittsburgh. That's why he re-upped there. They couldn't get Galladay to sign. That's why he went to New York. Plus, it's New York. This is just a desperate move and probably a low-risk move. It does maybe help Lamar, but Sammy Watkins can't stay on the field at all. So if he's not on the field, you're just left with the same shit you had last season.
I kind of agree. Sammy Watkins, he was decent. Keyword was. I think his stock goes up a little bit, but no, it does a little bit. He goes from like a 7th round to maybe a early 6th.
Then you draft him. I don't fucking want him.
Trust me, my draft will be on point like it was last year.
I don't think so, but we'll see. You know what we're gonna see though? The Cleveland Browns defense stomping mud holes throughout the AFC. Cleveland Browns made a trio of signings. I think they signed some more people, but we don't give a fuck about those people. John Johnson, a highly prolific safety. Troy Hill, a great corner who I wanted the Cowboys to grab, but Jerry Jones wanted to keep his piece of the pie. And Javanian Clowney, the latest addition.
Clowney.
Gooby. Are the Browns for real? And are they the consensus winners of the AFC North?
That's a big question, but I will say the dog pound is back in a big way. It's going to be hard to knock off Baltimore, but I think they definitely take over the Steelers. I think the Steelers are on a downward spiral. Fuck you, Allen. Just saying. But yeah, I think the Steelers are on a downward spiral. Bengals, their stock could be up too if Burrow stays healthy. But yeah, I say they give that division a run for their money. For sure.
Absolutely. Does Baker continue to get better, or does he regress?
Baker gets better, or he flatlines.
Which isn't a bad thing either.
Yeah, he did fantastic last year, so I have no problem with that whatsoever. Great signings. They always say defense wins championships. So unless you're Tom Brady,
what do they do with OBJ?
I would sign him for a year.
He's already signed for a few. He's there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, his contract runs out in 2 more seasons, I believe.
Okay. Sorry. So no, they'll keep him. I don't think give him away just yet. With that defense, it's gonna help keep the offense rolling. It's gonna keep them fresh, to keep them healthy. I think they'll keep OBJ for another year, and see how that progresses, and if not, maybe trade him away.
I think he's a cancer, but I do agree. Give him a try and see what you got.
Speaking of cancers, Andy Dalton picked up by the Bears. I think that's just cancer in itself. Like you drop a shit quarterback for another shit quarterback. Like, it's Andy Dalton. Like, come on, guys. Like, the Bears, you could do way better than this.
I think sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what do you think?
I think the Bears are this close to being on par with the Jets, the Lions, and the Jaguars, and the Texans. You mean to tell me you drop, like you said, a shitty quarterback, I can't remember his name at the moment.
That's my point. We can't remember his name. That's terrible.
He dropped Mitchell to Trubisky, who signed with the Bills, by the way. That was a great pickup because he can actually learn how to be a quarterback by watching your Lord and Savior. And you sign Andy Dalton. Okay, so Andy Dalton was the Cowboys' backup last season. Andy Dalton had a prolific offense in front of him with Zeke, Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Amari Cooper. And he couldn't do anything with them. He couldn't even get us the division title in that crapshoot of a division. What the hell are you going to do in Chicago? Like, seriously, you may as well go apply for Wendy's and be the new spokesperson for Wendy's because you're a ginger and that chick's a ginger. So do that because they'll make more money and have a better time than being the QB in Chicago. You're screwed. That team is a dumpster fire too.
Yep. 100%. I totally agree. It's pointless. I I saw that trade. I was like, why? Like, no offense. I was like, why the fuck are we even talking about this? It's pointless.
Yeah, apparently it's news. I don't think
It's
Chicago
new.
should have reported. It's just it's laughable. It's laughable. You may as well have re-signed Trubinsky.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about something that's not laughable. Let's talk about the Washington no-namers who are on a spending spree themselves. They went out and signed Curtis Samuel, which I like. I love that signing. Ronald Darby, William Jackson, and Brian Fitzmagic.
Oh God.
Now, Gooby, does he have enough in the tank to get this team back into the playoffs?
I have a $50 bet with not my boss, but my boss's boss at work, like that top end person at my work.
Yeah.
I said, hey, $50 says you don't even get 6 wins. Fitzmagic gives you 2 because he's a bench player that comes off the bench and goes, hey, guess what? I got a little bit of magic in me for 2 games, and then he's shit for the rest of the fucking year. So yeah, I said $50, you don't even get 6 wins. So that's enough said right there.
Yeah, you know what? I don't agree with you a lot, but I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think this was a horrible signing. If he were to be your backup, yeah, it would be a good signing, good mentor player. You know, again, he gives you like 2-3 games where he just like outperforms everyone and puts up like 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. And he's a fantasy god. But then he goes back to reality and he's poopy. So I think I question there. They would have been better off signing Andy Dalton. See, Andy Dalton there would have worked, I think, but not Fitzmagic. Although I probably would take Fitzmagic over Andy Dalton, but that's another conversation for another day. I got one more though regarding this team. Do they finally choose a freaking name?
They do not choose a name for one reason. If they go far into the playoffs somehow, they'll change their name next year to the Washington Magic.
They would have to. I think you'd owe it to Fitzmagic, man. If you somehow dominate the NFC East and you go far round or 2, I think you owe it to him. You're like, and maybe build a statue too. You know what? Yeah, we're the Washington Magics. They have rumor names: the Warriors, Renegades, and the Red Tails. All shit. You may as well stay with having no name.
I've heard Aces, some other crappy Red Devils, or I don't even know. It's they're changes it now, and I think they stick with Washington this year, and then they'll change it next year. But speaking of change, jersey numbers, we're getting new jersey numbers from a lot of different positions. It looks like QBs can now, well, I guess they were always 1 through 19. Running backs, tight ends, wide receivers are 1 through 49 and 80 to 89. Defensive backs, 1 through 49. Linebackers, 1 to 59 and 90 to 99. Offensive line, 50 to 79. And defensive line, 50 to 79 and 90 to 99. Now, the reason why I'm pretty sure we're talking about this is because changing these numbers means that when you're in a quarterback position, you're looking at your defense, it's brand new numbers. And normally you call out, 52 is the mic. You're calling out the guy who's calling the plays. Now it's all buggered up. And I think for some of the rookie quarterbacks, I think we'll do well because it's new and they're not seeing any changes. But for some of the mid quarterbacks, like people who've been in the NFL for 5-6 years, I think it's gonna hit them a little different. And then I think for like the senior quarterbacks, I think they'll do fine. Yeah, senior. Fucking Tom Brady, was he like 43 now? 44?
He is 43.
Yeah, exactly. Senior. Fucking should be pulling up those fucking wheelchair parking things out of their fucking visors.
No,
So,
he's going for number 8, buddy. He's probably healthier than the two of us put together.
I don't know. I eat pretty good. I got a chubby face from last season, okay?
That's not the only reason.
But what do you think of this number change?
It's all about the Benjamins. This is a ploy to make more money. New jerseys mean new jersey sales, new numbers, etc. They're also in college. In college they're allowed to wear these type of numbers, and now they're bringing it back to life in the NFL. It's complete horseshit because now I have to go get my favorite player. If he decides to change his number, I have to get a new jersey. I'm only for it if you can take the old jersey and trade it in for the new one. If that's a no-go, if it's no bueno, then fuck you. It's all about money, and I'm not for it.
That definitely ain't gonna happen. Who's your favorite player, by the way?
Tom Brady.
He's not gonna change his number.
No, he's not. But let's like on the Cowboys, like CD Lamb, he took 88 because, well, for Irving and that, but he also took it because at the time you can only be 80 to like 89 or like the low like 12s or whatever.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting his jersey, but he says he's gonna keep it. But if I let's say I had it and he changed it, I'd be pretty pissed off. Or like Zeke. Zeke is considering changing his 21, which is fucking like Mike's got Zeke's jersey. So not that Mike wears his jerseys that often, but I would be pretty pissed off. Like, seriously, guys, like fuck you. It's all about the money.
I only wear legends, man. Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Irving, and Tony Romo.
Well, what if they want to change their numbers?
Well, I have a Terrell Owens jersey too, don't I?
Get your popcorn ready.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's all about the Benjamins, man. Diehards will definitely buy jerseys.
Of course, I'm a diehard. I didn't say I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to be very disgruntled doing it and throw out obscenities because it's horseshit. If you want to talk horseshit, well, it might not be horseshit, but we're going to talk money. We're going to talk about a man who makes a lot of money. The quarterback plays for the Houston Texans. I mean, he doesn't want to be there right now, but I think that's the least of his problems. We're talking Deshaun Watson. Gooby, Deshaun Watson is being accused of sexual misconduct by 22 different massage therapists. 2 have come forward with their names and their identity. I'm sure more are gonna, reveal themselves eventually. Watson and his lawyers deny the allegations. He says he's completely innocent. Yo, this is definitely bigger than the Tiger Woods scandal. Come on. At least those girls agreed to have sex with them. Just saying. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's hard to wrap my head around it. But going back to the first thing you said, how Deshaun Watson doesn't want to be in Houston, I think he would rather be in Houston right now than dealing with this bullshit. This is gonna drop his capital. I like if it's true, fucking throw him in prison for the rest of his life. If it's not true, it's gonna tarnish his name no matter what. It's hard. I've read some of the articles. It's hard to go either which way. Some of the people don't want to say their names because they're like, well, if you're making these allegations, you got to tell us who you are, kind of thing, right? And, they got to go public with it. And they're like, I don't want to go public. That's kind of skeptical to me because I'm like, fuck, if you're not going to go public about your name and who you are, you're probably lying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to tarnish his name, and it has already. Deshaun Watson has lost a Nike deal and Beats by Dre deal. And that's millions. That's shoes. Like, that could be a collab with Beats by Dre to make a Deshaun Watson headset. I don't know. But that's millions lost already. His name's being dragged through the dirt. Like I said, though, I'm not going to speculate on if these allegations are true or false. If it's true, like I said, jail, rest of his life. But if it's false, I feel bad for this man because you don't come back from stuff like this.
I disagree with that last remark, but at this point, I think it's a he said, she said conversation, and sexual assault is no joke. You and I don't advocate sexual assault. I agree with you. If all these allegations are true, yeah, throw the bum in jail. Just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean you can pull your dick out and start beating people with it. No, this is we live in a society where women are equal, if not better. So, I'm of the mind frame innocent until proven guilty. So
Yep.
I'm going to wait and see. I do think the NFL should put him on the exempt list before this, while he handles himself. You still get paid, but at least it shows the NFL that they care and they're monitoring. I'm not saying that they're not, but put some action into it for now and let him try and fix his life, handle the situation, and then when the dust settles, then you go from there.
I think some kind of contract signing with the NFL and Deshaun Watson, where it says, we'll put you on this list, but if you're proven guilty, we want that money back, kind of thing.
Yeah. They I'm sure their lawyers will work out something where Houston and the NFL can void his massive contract that he signed last season.
Yeah, because you don't want to just be given a convicted felon free money for doing nothing but what he's been doing. And then if he is proven innocent, then he gets that money. He can continue with his life and hopefully sign with a great team. But you know what? A little lighter. Let's get into some little lighter news. Not really football news, but kind of football news. Kevin James, that's right. Paul Blart Mall is going to play Sean Payton, the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, in a movie. What do you think about this?
Yo, I'm intrigued. It's a production by Adam Sandler and Happy Gilmore Productions, so no, not a shock there. So this is going to be funny. It's inspired by Sean Payton and the Bountygate suspension. So I think it has the opportunity to be a fantastic movie, especially if you're a football fan and you relived that Bountygate scandal. It was quite interesting. So I think that's cool. I don't see the resemblance, but that was an interesting part given to Kevin James, Mr. King of Queens. But
Yep.
Gooby, since we're on this topic, who would play you in a Hollywood movie?
Easy. You messaged me this, and within like 5 seconds, I messaged you back. It's Jack Black, because he's fat and hairy and funny.
100%. I think if you were to redo Nacho Libre,
that's what I was gonna say.
Nacho Libre, you would get it down to a T, and the movie would be just as funny, or if not better.
And I would have to recreate that scene at the judge and jury where I ordered a nacho and then I ate it all myself. And then I asked the lady to order me another nacho. And she looked at me. She goes, "Are you sure you want another nacho?" I was like, "Yes." She goes, "What about a personal size?" I said, "No, I want a full nacho."
Oh, yeah. Her face was priceless. Good old days.
What about you? Who would play you in a movie?
Man, I hummed and I hawed over this. So I narrowed it down to two actors. So one was Trevor Noah, and the other was Cuba Gooding Jr. Now, I picked the two based on their charismatic. They have wit. They can play multiple roles, either be serious or be funny. But Trevor Noah has an accent, so he got eliminated. So I'm going with Cuba Gooding Jr. But Snow Dog sucked. I'd never do a movie like that.
Yo, you know what? I was gonna say that's one of the movies I remember because I watched Snow Dogs in a hotel when I was, I think, down east with my mom and my grandma, and that was like one of the first Cuban Gooding Jr.'s movies I ever watched, and I was young at the time. I think I was like 16. So, but yeah, like that's a good pick. That's a good pick. You know, I think he's a little old now. I think young Cuban Gooding Jr.
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
good.
yeah. Young Cuba Good Jr.
I think Jack Black age right now is perfect to me because I feel old. Okay,
I
so
could definitely ask to show me the money in Jerry Maguire. So yeah,
no, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
we're talking money, and you know what? How do you get your money? You get picked by a team. Gooby and I are doing our 2021 NFL mock draft, and we have our take on it. And there's been so many different versions of the mock draft going. It's going to happen this coming Thursday. I don't know what date that is, but it's what, April?
It's no, it's
April 29th.
yeah.
Yeah, April 29th. I can't wait. It's probably the most exciting draft besides the NBA. So yeah, Gooby, let's get into it. Who is your number one pick?
Okay, well, number one pick is Alabama. No, I'm fucking kidding. No, it's Clemson's quarterback Trevor Lawrence to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Come on, it's like there's we don't even need to talk about it. Trevor Lawrence. Who's your number one?
It's bum Phil. No, it's it's Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, hands down the best, the crown jewel of the draft. This man's supposed to be the next coming like Peyton Manning, you know, the cream of the crop, Dan Marino, whatever category you want to put him under. It's Trevor Lawrence, hands down. Jacksonville Jaguars are singing his praise. He probably knew once Jacksonville was revealed as the number one pick, he probably looked for real estate out in Jacksonville because he knew.
Yeah. Now, the people who should have been number one, sitting in number two spot, New York Jets, and I think they pick up BYU's quarterback Zach Wilson. What are your thoughts? And what do you pick as your number two?
My number two pick for the New York Jets, if I was running it, would not be Zach Wilson because he's compared to Sam Darnold. And guess what? You just shipped Sam Darnold out to Carolina. But apparently his upside is a bit bigger, his poise. He's ready to play now. So yeah, New York Jets, they select Zach Wilson and ruin another quarterback's life.
So you're going to go with Zach Wilson too?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What do you got at number three over there?
Number three, San Francisco 49ers. They spent a lot of capital getting this pick with Miami. They obviously don't have faith in porn star Jimmy. I wouldn't either. He can't stay on the field because he's probably banging too many porn stars. Not a bad life to live.
Hey, Lana Rose is up for sale right now, okay?
They're taking Mack Jones. He's probably the most ready quarterback besides Trevor Lawrence. He could thrive in the Mike and the Kyle Shanahan system. I don't agree with it, but I think that's what they're gonna go with is Mack Jones. Who do you got?
I'm straight with you right now. Number three, coming out of Alabama, QB Mack Jones. It's a no-brainer. We're going 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks right now, and on Gooby's list, number 4. Ohio State, we're going with 4 quarterbacks. QB Trey Lance for Atlanta. I think Matty Ice is going downhill at the moment. I think he's got maybe 1 or 2 more years left in him, but it's 1 or 2 years of just priming a great quarterback in Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance will fit well in that offense. And I'm excited for that if it happens.
So this is where we differ. I think Matty Ice isn't ready to be put on ice just yet. He's got at least 2 more seasons. And because of that, the Falcons, even though they've been discussing trading that number 4 pick, they're going with the best player in the draft, Kyle Pitts, tight end from Florida State.
Yeah, you see me with the hands. I already knew it's gonna be a receiver and Kyle Pitts.
Ridley, Julio, Kyle Pitts. How disgusting is that?
It's a pretty good combo, but I'll tell you more about that later on. Who you got at number 5 there?
Number 5. So I think this pick was very difficult for me because the Bengals can go in so many directions. One hand, they doesn't hurt to get offense. And by the way, if Kyle Pitts does not get picked at 4, the Bengals are taking Kyle Pitts. Without a doubt, no hesitation. But I don't think Atlanta is going to be stupid enough to not get a generational player. So they're going Kyle Pitts. The Bengals, since Burrow got hurt last season, their O-line was absolutely trash. They're going with the best offensive lineman in the draft in Penei Sewell.
Okay. And this is, again, where we differ. Because this just in, Carolina trades up from 8th to 5th to pick up Ohio State QB Justin Fields.
Okay, I like it. I like the trades. I
think if Carolina has some kind of capital or draft picks, I couldn't do a whole deep dive on that because that's a lot of deep diving to go through. But I think if Carolina has the capital to do it, I think they do it because, I mean, getting Justin Fields is it's a great pickup for them.
See, I don't think Carolina, first of all, they spent some capital with the Jets, and also they're going to trade down. And I'm going to get into that when I get there. But my pick so that's why they're picking Penei Sewell.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But number 6, you got the Miami Dolphins. They are getting some weapons, and they're taking Jamar Chase, the best wide receiver in the draft. He's going to Miami. Welcome to Miami, Jamar Chase.
Okay. And again, I feel like I knew this was going to happen too because I knew that we were going to differ in so many ways. I'm going to go for number 6 from Florida, tight end Kyle Pitts.
So you think Kyle Pitts drops to 6? Okay.
I think Kyle Pitts drops to 6, and I think it will be a great weapon for our boy Tua. Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, Kyle Pitts. That's a great team. That is a great team. Yes, they could use another wide receiver, but I would prefer Kyle Pitts over Jalen Waddle or Waddle or whatever. Waddle?
Yeah.
Right?
He can waddle his way down further to the draft.
Well, he can actually waddle his way to the 7th overall pick for Detroit from Alabama, wide receiver Jalen Waddle.
Ooh, Jalen Waddle. Okay. So I'm glad we differ. And you had your trade earlier. This is where I have the Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos.
And this pains me to say this. The Denver Broncos trade up with the lonely fucking Lions, who go down to 9. And the Denver Broncos select Justin Fields at number 7. And they finally get rid of Andrew Luck.
Okay. I like that. And because of that trade earlier from 8th to 5th, Cincinnati Bengals sit in their 8th spot, picking up Oregon offensive tackle Penei Sewell.
So we have him being picked by just at different times.
He is definitely. This is where I think Cincinnati can do this trade, is because Miami don't need no offensive tackles. Detroit doesn't really need offensive tackles because they don't have a good quarterback. It's Jared Goff. It's Jared Goff. We don't really need to protect his ass. Okay? So, and we know that with the acquisition of Jared Goff, though, they think they might have a quarterback, so they're going to go get a wide receiver. So this is where I think Cincinnati can be smart, drop down to 8th, and still get their offensive tackle. We know Florida is going to go with a wide receiver or tight end if it goes down that far. So, I mean, Cincinnati has nothing to lose other than they just don't. They have nothing to lose. So they're gaining draft picks or whatever for a drop 4 spots and still picking up the same player.
I dig it. I like it. You can tell you've definitely thought this through.
Yeah. I think that's how it's going to go. I don't know. Who do you got in 9?
Or at 8.
Oh, we're at 8. Well, sorry. You're at 8.
I'm at 8. So we have another trade. And this puts Bill Belichick's offseason. This is actually the cherry on the top of Bill Belichick's offseason. The New England Patriots spend whatever capital they have with who's originally at number 8?
Originally at number 8 is Carolina.
So yes, Carolina drops to the 15th, but they also gain more draft picks from what they spent on Sam Darnold. They go to 15th. I don't care who they select at that point. New England goes all the way up to 8. And they get your boy Trey Lance, future quarterback of the New England Patriots.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that we're doing trades too, because I wasn't sure if you were going to do trades as I was.
Oh, I had trades there. This is a prime draft this year with wide receivers and quarterbacks. Yeah. And teams that need quarterbacks for the future are going to do whatever it takes, because next year's draft is apparently really shitty.
Speaking of shitty, I got number 9 shitty team, the Denver Broncos.
Oh, yeah, they suck.
Picking up Penn State, Micah Parsons. I don't know if I said that right, but he's the top linebacker.
He's the linebacker, yeah.
He's the top linebacker. I think Denver builds up their defense, and maybe they'll get a quarterback another time. But I don't, because they got Nick Foles right now, right?
Denver? No, they have Andrew Luck.
Oh, sorry, they have Luck. Sorry. But yeah, so I don't see them being able to trade up for any quarterback. I think their best shot is to get that linebacker and improve on that defense. This one I had a tough time dealing with, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad pick. He is the best linebacker in the draft, and this man gets the quarterback like no other. So it's something they could definitely use. They could use a lot more because it's Denver.
That's why I was like, it was really hard because there's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes that need to be filled, and I just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, but they usually are in any porn you watch. So my number 9 pick. So the Lions have dropped down to number 9 after their trade with Denver. And yeah, they need everything. But because they have Jared Goff, they need to give him a weapon. They lost Kenny Golladay and they lost Marvin Jones in the offseason. So they're going to get a wide receiver. And they're going to draft Devontae Smith. And everybody knocks him on his size and whatever, but the man can separate, and he's got speed like a cheetah. So Devontae Smith is heading to that crapshoot called Detroit.
If Devontae Smith tried to bump up against me, he would fall over. And I'm not even a professional player, and I'm only 5'9". Okay? Exactly. So if this motherfucker tried to bump up against me, he's just gonna fall over like a fucking, just like he's like a plastic bag in the wind. Okay, that dude needs to put on some muscle and some muscle quick. Okay,
it's called beefcake. Look it up.
Yeah, no. I understand where you're coming from, but I just don't like him until he gets a little bit beefier. Number 10 for me, our final and best team in the NFL, picking up, and I'm sure we're both agreeing on this one, Alabama quarterback Patrick Surtain II. I think this is a great pickup. Dallas's defense is shit. Their corners are always garbage. I think, no, come on.
It's true.
You know it's true.
It's true. They're a hot
Okay,
mess.
we haven't had a good cornerback since prime time. Okay, so I think this is
Darren Woodson. Yeah.
okay, but I think this is a great pickup for them. I think this is gonna help build that defense, and we can start building it right, making playoff runs with this defense.
Yeah, I agree with you. My number 10 pick, Patrick Surtain II. He comes from a line of players. His dad played in the NFL. He's a great, outstanding corner. Alabama, stand up.
Yep.
Him and Trayvon played back in the day. That great 1-2 tandem. He's a great on the ball corner. He's what more can I say? I for a split second, I debated whether it should be him or J.C. Horn, who's another great corner, great ball hawk. His dad also played in the league. But you have to go. If Surtain is there, you have to. Unless Kyle Pitts somehow drops to number 10, which I don't think that's going to happen, or Jerry trades. I don't think Jerry should trade up. Jerry, if you're listening, don't trade up. You have to spend the farm to get Pitts. Stay at 10 and get Patrick Surtain. Our defense is crap. Remember the glory days?
Yeah, the big D&D.
Exactly. That's why we won. Not just because of the triplets. It's because we can stop people. We're crap right now. So Jerry, pick up Patrick Surtain. Or if he's gone early, get J.C. Horn.
Now, I'm glad you said something about him trading up. If this motherfucker trades up, you are either going for Kyle Pitts or you're going for Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no one else you need, okay?
What about Micah Parsons?
You could use Parsons. I like Jalen Smith. I like Sean Lee. I like Van Der Esch. So our linebacker situation, we got the Wolfpack. I think if they can stay healthy, we are good. So Micah Parsons, I think it's a no-go. If you were going to trade up, you were getting Kyle Pitts or you're getting the offensive tackle Penei Sewell. That's it.
Hands down. You don't need anyone else.
It's clear cut. Clear cut. You know what, though? Speaking of clear cut, Not After 30 Podcast has a sponsor, everybody.
What in the bud?
So, you know what? If you want your turf cut clean like an NFL football field, use a Turf Chopper 3.0 from Smooth My Balls. It'll help you score more touchdowns in the bed. Use code NA30 for a 15% off discount at the store.
Yeah, but I'm excited. When I heard the news, I was screaming like a little girl. And like Gooby mentioned, support the network by using our promo code NA30. Saves you 15% on your order. Don't delay. Shave those pubes away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I think that wraps it up about this, I guess, off-season podcast. A little mid-season for us because we're almost at the fantasy draft for us. At least I don't know when we're doing that, but I'm sure we're going to be doing it quite soon. Hopefully.
Our usual time.
Yeah. So I'm excited. This draft, like Melky said, is going to be excellent draft. I don't normally tune in for drafts, but I'm going to probably tune in for this one because this is a historic draft. I think you're going to see some good top players in the next 10, 15 years coming out of this draft. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's star talent everywhere. A lot of these players I think, are generational players and can help a franchise or could set back a franchise if they're wrong. So, Jets. But yeah, I mean, anytime we can talk football, bro, it's a blessing. And just shout out to the channel and everyone involved. Don't forget to look us up on Wow I Had Mustard. Check out Gooby's Don't Give a Nobody Gives a Fuck pod on video games. Check out mine on Brotherly Bonding. Check out Jesse and John's on Star Wars. Check out Nothing But Miss. That's our basketball pod. Last episode was Pretty Jokes. And check out all the rest of the talent on N830. Gooby, one last time, brother. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, Jack Black, if you're looking to do this up, give me a call, bro. I can tell you my life story.
So yeah, you or you can call it McLovin.
But yeah, no, this is great. I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait for this draft. I can't wait to dominate in the fantasy football world again.
Not happening.
So yeah, that's it for me, man.
Oh, well, on that note, remember, sex at the age of 90 is like trying to shoot pool with a rope. On that note, let's play Aaron Rodgers audio, which we were talking about earlier, just in case you guys did not understand our joke.
To our two-day champion on the end. Scott, did you come up with the correct response? Who wanted to kick that field goal? That is a great question. Should be correct, but unfortunately for this game today, that's incorrect, and you're going to lose 0. Thank you for that, and congrats on your 2-day win streak. But the man in the middle.
You might have a future in jeopardy. On that note, sayonara.